Let's talk about Ideanomics, baby! What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor. Look, I got the clothing line to prove that fact. And today we're speaking about the hottest penny stock on the blocks. It's a Saturday. I'm feeling good. I'm in the mood to talk about IDEX. Full disclosure from the beginning, I don't have a position in this company as of yet. I am heavily contemplating opening a position relatively soon. And also, guys, I made a video on these guys last week that went through a lot more of the basic information, some of the investor presentation stuff. Today's video isn't going to be so much about that. It's going to be more so around price targets. Entry points I see that I really like the look of, and why I believe that the company still has room, to come back down a little bit in the short term. But I do want it to be known that in the long term, I really like the look of this company and what they do. But I spoke a lot more about that in my last video. So guys, what do I want to speak about today? Well, of course, we have to speak about the price action. We have to speak about what happened since, I last spoke about these guys, because some pretty insane stuff has happened. You will see I had all of these different lines of support, resistance, etc. drawn out. They just don't exist anymore. IDEX just did its own thing. I want to speak about this, okay? The prospectus supplement that's all the way back from July 17, 2020, which involves selling up to $150 million worth of the company's stock. So on September 4, 2020, a lot of you guys will already be aware of this, but essentially they went in and offered and sale up to $150 million of their common stock to this company. YA is what we're going to refer to them as. Now, so far, quite a bit has already been offered, but there's a lot more, and that's what I want to speak about today. I also want to speak about what the institutions are doing. There's a lot of buys, there's a lot of sells, and there's a lot of big names in there, but there's not the most institutional ownership in the world right now. And then at the end of the video, I want to cover this quickly. It's actually another good piece of long-term bullish news that I want you guys to be aware of that I didn't cover in my first video. So, my friends, right before we get into the video, can I please ask you to hit that juicy like button? It's free, it helps the YouTube algorithm. Why not? Drop me a comment down below. Are you guys playing IDEX? Are you swing trading it, or are you a long-term investor? Are you hoping this is your next 10x stock? And please, my friend, if you are new around here, hit that juicy red subscribe button, join the family of investors. We're nearly at 60,000, baby. If you're interested in joining my private Discord group, hit the first link in the description, but it does charge you the first of every month, so maybe wait a few days. But in there you get access to my buy and sell alerts. You'll know if I buy IDEX next week, and over 40 private channels. If you want 4 free stocks from Webull, just hit that second link in the description. Deposit $100. It's that simple. Some of those shares are valued up to $3,700, which is absolutely insane. It's literal free money. Now, with that being said, my friends, let's get into this price action. Oh my goodness. So the last time I made a video was right here, okay? It was pre-market, 20th of November. Look what happened. Bang. Shot up in value. Opened up at $2.08, went all the way up to $2.88, and actually closed that day around $2.62. Insane day. Now, if you watched my first video, you know that I actually praised this company because it had an awful lot of healthy price action. I mean, look, all of this period of consolidation, there were some gaps here and there. They got filled. They set supports and resistance. It was pretty awesome. Obviously, all of that is now out the window. All we have to look at really is the last 5 trading days. That's really what we have to work off right now. A lot of this is redundant in the very short term at least. So there is one very obvious price point that I am looking at. I have it highlighted here. It's this gap. Somewhere in the realms of $1.75 up to about $2 a share. And I personally do think the odds of us coming back down to here at some stage are quite considerable. These gaps get filled. We see it happen time and time again. Sometimes it takes a couple of days. Sometimes it takes a couple of weeks. That's why patience can make you a whole lot of money in the stock market. So since I wasn't buying here, I was still doing my research in the company. I'm going to play the patience game. I don't have an initial position. I didn't get any of my shares in the low $1 or even below that. I'm in no rush. I mean, look, lots of unhealthy price action. We absolutely shoot up in value. What happens again? Another gap gets created. This candle here I want to speak about. This does not look very normal, does it? So on the 23rd of November, they closed it at about $2.64. On the 24th, they closed at about $3.95, my friends. That's not normal. Let's just put it that way. Now, if that wasn't normal enough, they went up to about $4.75 a share, okay, very quickly before coming all the way back down to $3 and pretty much 10 cents a share. And that wasn't it for the insanity of that day. Look what happened next. Opened here, we went back up to about $3.43. We went all the way down to 218, and then since then we've traded somewhat sideways for 2 days. Now this candle here is very interesting. This would have taken a lot of people's money. People saw us shoot up here from, let's say, 150 all the way up to 280. I mean, that's a 60+% increase. I'm sure a lot of people would have been tempted to short here, and maybe they did at the peaks and it didn't go down that much and they held it overnight. What happened? They opened all the way up here. A lot of people got margin called. They had to buy their shares. It pushed it up, and then they sold it all the way back down. I do definitely think this was some big money getting involved. They saw the hype that was being created. They took some small money. Now, I actually like what I've seen the last couple of days. We are seeing some consolidation. Now, is it going to last? I don't know. This company moves so quickly. Anything can happen. One more thing I quickly want to point out. You see I have this blue line drawn out here where we opened up on the 24th after that huge upwards gap. Look, all the way back here. That was a recent previous high back from June. Now, if you know IDEX, you know that they were much higher than this in the past, but that was a recent high. So this now is an area that I'm going to be interested in. Potentially, it's going to be an area of resistance. Now, in regards to an area of support, I don't really think we have one right now. You could argue all of these points that I have down here are now areas of support. It's tough to tell. I am more interested in this gap in regards to short-term price action, in regards to potentially getting a good entry point on this company. Now the thing is, I know it's exciting because the long-term prospects these guys have are absolutely amazing. I mean, who cares if you buy at 280 or at 175 if it's going to be a 10x, if it's going to be a $30 stock? You'll still make a whole lot more money if you have a bit of patience. Of course, you can miss out. That's how the stock market works. But I would rather miss out a few times and get that one absolutely beautiful entry point. So I'm not just hoping that we're coming back down to fill in this gap. I want to let you guys know why I think it could happen. The first one is very obvious, okay? A lot of hype. There was so much unhealthy price action, so much buying, not enough selling. MACD is incredibly bullish right now. The last time we were bullish was right around here. Look, it was a couple of days after they hit their previous highs, and that's when they came crashing back down. So that's one thing to keep in mind. The next thing is this, the issuance of up to $150 million of common stock. So they are offering each share at 90% of the market value. So straight away, there is share dilution happening and at a cheaper price. So a while ago, they went ahead, issued 5.6 million shares at pretty much exactly $5 million. A little while later, 30.8 million shares at exactly $30 million. So that's 35 million worth of shares issued. Then another 25.83 million shares were issued for about $35 million. So simply put, guys, only about $70 million worth of these shares have been issued. They're going to be issuing up to $150 million worth. Now, one thing worth noting that if they go up in value absolutely massively, this agreement here is subject to certain limitations, including that YA could not purchase any shares that was result in it owning more than 4.99% of their common stock. But not even half the value of the shares that they can issue to this company have been issued yet. So very easy for more dilution to happen, very easy for some cheap shares to enter the market. And this company here is buying shares 10% below market price. They could flip very quick profits. So some of the risk factors that they lay out here themselves, okay? The issuance and sale of our common stock in this offering and any future sales of our common stock may depress our stock price. Speaks for itself. We all know this. That's the primary concern right here. Now here's another thing that I doubt a lot of people have seen because it's in the SEC filing. It's not really highlighted. In addition to our issuance of common stock to YA pursuant of the CEDA, this prospectus supplement also covers the resale of those shares from time to time by YA to the public. They have been advised that they're purchasing the shares for its own account for investment purposes, in which it takes investment risk, and without any view or intention to distribute such shares in violation of the Securities Act or any other applicable securities laws. It's possible that our shares may be sold by YA in one or more of the following manners: ordinary brokerage transactions, a block trade, principal to facilitate the transaction, to a broker-dealer, and a combination of any such methods of sale. This company gets to buy the shares 10% cheaper than market price and sell them. Now, this is where patience comes into it, my friends. They've agreed that during the terms of CEDA, neither YA or its affiliates will engage in any short sales or hedging transactions with respect to our common stock, provided that upon receipt of an advance notice, YA may sell shares that it is obliged to purchase under such advance notice prior to taking possession of such shares. That's why patience is so important, guys. This downward movement may not come for a considerable period of time. Now, we might get it nice and quickly, which is always the ideal case scenario, but I think patience is going to be very important here. Now, again, guys, remember, I want this company to succeed long term. I really like them from a long term point of view. I just want the best entry point. That's why I'm sharing this information with you guys, because I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't be aware of this. Now, I want to speak about some institutional ownership, okay? So as of right now, you can see the institutional shares only account for about 4.9% of the outstanding shares altogether. Institutional ownership in general has been going up as of late. You can see there was a lot of selling here. There's been more buying as of late. There is a lot of buys and quite a lot of sells here as well, my friends. A few names in particular I want to point out, okay? Morgan Stanley owning 1.38 million shares. Bank of America owning over 500,000 shares. Recently, Goldman Sachs sold out of their complete position. Caption Management, another one you guys will be aware of. They opened up a call on them on the 16th. They've made a lot of money. And then there is, of course, a lot of smaller names in there that, we're not all going to be aware of. We see a lot of ETFs, a lot of indexes buying up some of this. Institutional ownership is not massive by any means as of right now, which can be a good thing and can be a bad thing. I would like to see more institutions behind these guys at current prices. We'll see what happens over the next while. And then for the bulls, this came out November 23rd. Ideanomics increases its stake in the e-tractor company SolarTrack. So they had already invested in these guys a while ago. I mean, this is quite an interesting company. I know we speak about EV on the channel a lot. We haven't really spoken about electric tractors. I could see why autonomy in particular would be absolutely incredible for that industry. So maybe there's a lot of potential. So they invested another $1.3 million essentially. This recent investment increases their ownership to 24% in the company, which will reduce to approximately 22% post money once the additional third-party investment is finalized. But that is quite considerable, guys, so keep that in mind when you're investing in IDEX. You're also pretty much investing in this company, SolarTrack. And this definitely is an industry that I think is flying under the radar. I think they could potentially benefit the most out of autonomy. I know it would give the everyday driver, truck drivers, etc., quality of life improvements, but this could be incredible from an efficiency point of view for one of the biggest industries in the world, that is agriculture. The other thing is, guys, that from a financial point of view, we're in a quite nice position. I wouldn't say it's an absolutely disgustingly incredible position as of just yet, but they have enough money to do what needs to be done for a while. As a company, I think it's going to be a relatively slow burner for a little while. Now, as a ticker symbol, as a stock, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think that's quite evident to see from the recent price action. From a company, from a long-term investor's point of view, I think it's going to be a little bit of a slow burner, and that is why, to me, if I invest in the company, I'm going to be hoping to do so as a long-term investment. I'm not here to swing trade or day trade this company. I mean, pretty much anybody could buy some shares right now, and you're probably going to make some money if you hold them long enough. Is 282 going to be this company's all-time high that they ever hit again? Probably not. Is it also going to be the lowest it ever hits again? Probably not. So guys, that's where I stand price action wise as of right now. I would love to see us get in here somewhere around that 175 all the way up towards $2 mark. That's where I would heavily contemplate opening my position in this company to a decent amount potentially. What I will also say is it's a penny stock, guys. I mean, this is still, no matter how good the company is, it's high risk, okay? There is speculation involved here. The volatility is going to be crazy. I mean, you think Tesla's volatile, you think Workhorse, Lordstown Motors, Hyliion's volatile. This is going to be more volatile in my opinion for a considerable period of time. So if you're not able for that, maybe look to spend your money elsewhere. If you are able for that and you want to be a long-term investor, you're still going to need strong hands, and you still carry the risk of losing a considerable amount of money. That's what happens when you carry, the potential benefit of making a considerable amount of money. But anyway, guys, that was it for my update on IDEX today. I just wanted to speak about those few things. I wanted to let you guys know why I haven't bought yet, where I plan on potentially buying, and why I think we could get there. If you enjoyed today's video, you enjoyed, the SEC filings, that's a really weird sentence, please consider hitting that juicy like button. It helps me out massively. Drop me a comment down below again. Let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know what you think of this company. And please do subscribe if you're new around here, my friends. Also, remember that Patreon is the first link in the description, but you should probably wait until the 1st of next month or you are going to be charged twice. And if you want 4 free stocks valued up to multiple thousands of dollars, hit the second link in the description and deposit $100 into Webull. It's that simple. It's free money, free stonks, literally free stonks. Anyway, my friends, I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. I will see you in another video very soon. Peace.